Hi everyone and welcome to my channel, Show Me Cinema, your source for movie news and reviews. I'm currently riding this train, choo-choo, all aboard, of retro reviews, especially those that have been condemned by critics. So today I'm tackling the 2013 Superman blockbuster, Man of Steel. I really enjoy this one, but with every movie there's gonna be some good and some bad. So today, let's start with good! So Zack Snyder, the director of this movie, has a very specific look. I could spend an hour trying to break down certain trademarks of his shooting style, but since I don't have that much time, let me just say his use of color is really impressive. Say what you will about some of his storytelling, but the dude knows how to make some striking visuals. He typically uses a dull palette of gray or golden tones with a pop of associated color for specific character motifs. This is best seen in his first breakout film 300, where we have a lot of gold scenes highlighted by red capes worn by the Spartans. This is Sparta! Snyder also has a unique approach when it comes to fight scenes. Whether it be a one-on-one fight or a one-on-many fight, Snyder's goal is for the audience to feel every punch. It's a very visceral, kinetic aesthetic. See what I did there? It rhymed! Sound design is a really important part of this, but what I really want to highlight is speed ramping. Snyder uses this to slow down and accelerate fight scenes for dramatic effect. It's pretty clear that Snyder wants these conflicts to be heightened, grandiose. His characters are Olympic gods. Let's talk about establishing shots. Instead of using super wide master shots to establish locations, Snyder uses super tight macro shots. Super close macro shot. A close-up of a bundle of pencils, a toy wagon, a butterfly. Starting a scene on a butterfly sets us up for a more personal story than a wide shot of a farm. There's a flashback where young Clark is playing with the red cape on in the backyard. It wrecks me every time. There's a close-up shot of the family dog, and then a shot of young Clark as he slowly raises his hands up to his waist and strikes that hero's pose. Images like this invoke a universal emotional response, nostalgia for simpler times. Let's talk about the cast. Michael Shannon as General Zod is amazing. I will find him! Yes. His motivation makes sense, he has some great lines of dialogue, and his overall performance is bold and chilling. I love that he says he's haunted by killing Superman's dad back on Krypton, but he says if he had to do it again, he would. That's intense. He has a great monologue at the end of the movie where he says his sole purpose is to protect the people of Krypton, and now he has no people and therefore no purpose. Henry Cavill is equally compelling. I don't think people give this guy enough credit. His quiet approach to the role perfectly balances this complete loneliness with charming confidence that you wouldn't think works together, but it does. And the kids who play the younger version of Clark really pull their weight too. When young Clark looks up at his dad and says, "Can't I just keep pretending I'm your son?" you get this real sense that he's desperate for somebody to tell him that he's worthy of love. Another universal emotional response, love and hope. These are powerful themes throughout the movie. Clark's father, Jor-El, teaches him that the family crest stands for hope. But the real hidden gem here is the actress who plays Superman's mother on Krypton, Lara. I'd never seen this actress before, so I had to look it up, and I'm gonna completely butcher her name, but it's Ayelet Zurer. She should be cast in everything, because she's great. When she's saying goodbye to her son and expressing how he's gonna be an outcast and how she's never gonna see him grow up, it's so believable. And later, as she watches her planet die, she whispers, "Make a better world than ours, son." Honestly, it's a total goosebumps moment, and a lot of that credit goes to the actress. Some quick thoughts on the planet Krypton. This film abandons the classic white and blue glacier look and goes for a more mountainous terrain. One that balances interesting technology and impressive creatures. I specifically like the beast that Jor-El flies around on. Noble steed. The costume design for the Kryptonians is really cool. They wear these elaborate gold robes and these tall, funny hats. And then you throw in the Hans Zimmer score, which is awesome throughout the whole movie. But at the beginning, it has this persistent percussion that just drives the action. This contrasts beautifully with the gentle piano music scored for the Smallville scenes. Now on to the bad. Let's talk about the two big deaths. Spoilers! Honestly, it's probably not fair to call these bad choices so much as they're controversial choices. With Jonathan Kent, this is a different version of Pa Kent than we're used to seeing. In the past, we've seen Jonathan encourage Clark to use his powers for good, while maintaining anonymity. In Man of Steel, we have a Jonathan who is convicted that if people find out about Clark's secret identity, the whole world is at stake. This means Papa Kent is willing and encouraging Clark to let people die, even if Clark could save them. Nowhere is this more evident than in Jonathan's death scene. The Kent family's driving on the highway when a tornado lets down. A group of people gotta go hide out yonder underneath the bridge. Underneath that bypass though, over there, that yonder way. Jonathan goes back to the vehicle to pull out the family dog, and he can't run back to safety before the tornado takes him. Bye-bye. So Clark is staring at Jonathan, begging him for permission to use his powers and save him. But Jonathan lifts his hand and waves Clark off. I think what's so annoying about this is how avoidable the death scene is. If only Clark had gone to rescue the dog. If only Clark had ran at normal human speed when Jonathan was struggling, then he could have super sped off in the opposite direction and no one would have even seen. But for me, what's even tougher about this questionable death is Jonathan's new radical character trait to keep Clark's secret no matter the cost. And speaking of changes in character traits, boy howdy! Let's talk about Superman and the death of Zod. After the hero and villain wrestle through the city, slaughtering thousands of people, Zod is about to kill a nearby family with his heat vision, and then Clark snaps his neck and kills him before he's able to do so. This is behavior that we're not used to seeing from a figure who's supposed to be the poster child of morality. It's clear that Zack Snyder is taking these characters in a vastly different direction. Sure, people will point out that Snyder pulls from the comics, but I would say he cherry picks material in order to fit his vision. At the end of the day, you'll either learn to accept this alternate version, or you won't. There's also a couple of very minor subplots that are close to being good, but don't quite stick the landing. When Metropolis is being destroyed, we follow Lois Lane's boss and colleagues as they run through the streets avoiding danger. It's nice that the boss, Perry White, is willing to stick around while his employee is stuck underneath some rubble, but the story hasn't developed these characters enough for us to really care. Rapid fire weird things. General Zod says that Superman's birth is heresy, which implies that there's some sort of religious practice connected to procreation, but we never get any details about that. I'm not sure what's up with Zack Snyder's phallic images in this movie. Full frontal baby nudity. Penis space pods. Weird choice. We're told that Zod and his troops escape the Phantom Zone as soon as Krypton gets destroyed, but they just got there. So what, they were in prison for like 1 hour? I think the kiss between Lois and Clark actually works really well, but the line afterwards when Lois is like, it all goes downhill after the first kiss, it reads odd. It's weird that Superman is so concerned with saving a single soldier in Smallville. Say that 10 times fast. But then he doesn't take any time at all to save the thousands of people that are dying in the Metropolis buildings. And why are so many people just chilling in the streets casually looking up as destruction is falling down on them? Guys, get out of the way! It doesn't make any sense. So that's my review. I give Man of Steel 38 shards of kryptonite because it doesn't even matter. Thanks so much for watching. Leave a comment below. Let me know if there's any critically condemned movies you want me to tackle. Please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and I'll see you next time where I'll keep you by my side with my superhuman might. Kryptonite! Yeah! Don't be fooling with Kansas.